This is GARIS Masculist MGTOW flyers. That is 2-3 page essays on the themes of masculism and MGTOW. Written by and read aloud by Prof. Dr. Hugo de GARIS. This is part 3 of 3 of flyer number 429, entitled Masculism Will Change Women's Self-Conception. Going straight on. Bullet. Women will educate themselves to their intellectual limits. As part of the fipping process of women will be encouraged and pushed by masculists, parents, teachers, professors, etc. to educate themselves to the limits of their intellectual abilities. Women will be expected to be excellent and not to have an attitude of being a member of an inferior sex. Women will be expected to be well educated so as to be a successful FIP as an adult. Bullet. Women will expect to be ambitious at work. Women will be expected to be ambitious at their careers as men are and to achieve great things in their work. It's not enough for women to perform well at work. Women will take for granted that they are to be ambitious as well. Masculists push women to FIP up, to be ambitious at work for the benefit of all, certainly to women's benefit, in earning a good wage for being accomplished at their chosen skills and levels of accomplishment that their ambition has provided them with. Bullet. Women will choose to be nurturative towards men at home. Ambition at work for women does not mean that women should be competitive with men at home. Men want to be nurtured by women the way their mothers nurtured them when they were small. If wives or girlfriends are coldly competitive with their husbands or boyfriends at home, then why would these men bother with such women? Men don't want to have to compete with their female partners at home. They have enough competition with women and men in the workplace, so want to be able to relax and be themselves at home, being nurtured by their female partners, and vice versa. If the female partner is nurturative to her man, then the odds are high that he will reciprocate and give her the male nurturing that she needs. Modern monoconscious feminism is doing the opposite of giving men the female nurturing that men want. So monoconscious feminism is destroying relationships between men and women by the millions. Monoconscious feminism is, in that sense, toxic for good male-female relationships. Women need to be competitive in the workplace for the same reasons as men are, to be competent and ambitious, but be nurturative at home with their man, so that their man really values her female nurturing and is motivated to nurture her right back. Monoconscious feminists have a lot to learn on this score. Bullet. Women will face the need to be slim or be sexually rejected by quality men. At the present time, current feminism is preaching to women that fat shaming is unacceptable to women, that women have the right to be overweight if they choose to be. After all, it takes real discipline to count calories and keep one's weight in the slim, healthy range. However, the majority of women do not have that level of discipline, resulting in the fact that in many Western countries now, 40% of women are obese and 30% of women are overweight. Masculists, on the other hand, tell women that men have their standards too, that men's sexuality is more vision-based than women's, which is more touch-based. Masculists assert their male standards by judging women in terms of women's visual sexual desirability. Masculists tell women that if women don't bother to remain slim and curvy, then men have every right to reject them sexually. To slim, health-conscious males, the fact that 2/3 of women are today unfuckable causes such men to reject such women in a tenth of a second, the time needed to dismiss a fat/obese woman as a fuff, that's F-U-F, fat, unfuckable female, or a yucker, that is, a woman who evokes the yuck reaction in a man when seeing such a woman naked, with so much fat protruding over her front that the man can't even see her cunt. Or a cockshrinker, which is self-explanatory when a man sees a fat/obese woman naked. Those of you who have been to Paris recently may have noticed how much slimmer Parisian women are than elsewhere. Why is this? Because Parisian men don't tolerate fat, obese women and refuse to give them their penises. The French call such women grosses imbaisables, that is, fat unfuckables. Masculists push women to be slim and healthy, appealing to women's self-interest, since a fat/obese woman shortens her life expectancy by a decade or more, will have a miserable life in her final decade due to ill health, will be much more likely to get diabetes, have heart problems, etc. Slim, health-conscious masculists label such fat/obese, non-health-conscious women dumb fucks in both senses of the word. Women will become very conscious of this masculinist attitude towards women, and since they do not want to be sexually rejected by men, will make a lot more effort to remain sexually attractive to men, so will absorb the important message that it is very worthwhile to be slim and curvy, both for their own health and to get sex and attention from a man. Otherwise, they will rot on the shelf, dismissed as fuffs, yuckers, or cockshrinkers, and be ignored and punished by men for not making the effort to remain sexually attractive to men. Those women who don't bother to remain slim and healthy will pay the price of not being able to attract the interests of a quality, slim, healthy man. For this very powerful reason, most women will become like Parisian women, absorbing the value that is very important to remain slim and sexually attractive, both for her own long-term health reasons and to be able to attract a quality man. Bullet. Women will be sexually assertive, less sexually cowardly. Women have used fake-up for many centuries, aiming to attract the eye of a quality man with whom they really want to mate, to obtain quality genes from a quality man for her kids, so that her kids have superior DNA than she does, which is good for the species, so was inherited. This instinct that all women have to mate up is called hypergamy. One wonders why women are so afraid to take explicit sexual initiatives with men. Why do women not simply walk up to some man they really desire and say to him, "I find you sexually attractive. Let's fuck"? In this sense, women are real sexual cowards. There's a lot of talk amongst monoconscious feminists about male sexual harassment. However, if women were as sexually assertive as men, then quality men would be hounded by fat, ugly, unattractive women, whom these men would reject with a tenth of a second glance. Thus, male sexual harassment is a simple consequence, by default, of female sexual cowardice, of women hating being sexually rejected. Imagine how a woman would feel if she explicitly sexually propositioned some highly attractive male and got the reply from him, "Nah, you're too dumb for me, too low class, too ignorant, too ugly, too fat. I suggest you look for some male at the same level as you. You're not in my league, so have a nice life." Men are rejected like this by women they sexually proposition all the time, so masculists want women to share half of the rejections. As women fip up and take control of their own lives, they can afford to take more sexual risks of male rejection. This risk will make women be more realistic with their choices of potential male sexual partner, But running counter to this is their genetically programmed hypergamous instinct. So women will have to make a trade-off between the pain of intimate sexual rejection by a superior male and her hypergamous drive to mate with a superior male to get his superior genes for her kid. Once women are as powerful as men in society, possessing roughly half the positions of power, who are real fips, then the traditional sexual cowardice of women will not seem compatible with women's self-image of being as powerful as men, so will expect to be as sexually assertive as men and run the risk equally of being sexually rejected as do men. Women will see themselves as strong sexual beings who assert themselves with men as much as men have traditionally done. As men become accustomed to the fipping of women, they will be less surprised at women sexually propositioning them and will take it more for granted, making it easier for women to be sexually assertive with men. There are probably lots of other ways that masculist ideas will change the self-conception of women over the next few decades. Hopefully, the above dozen ways will get you thinking of other alternatives. I think it's fair to say that the rise of masculism will have a profound impact on women and women's self-conception. It's likely that the rise of masculism in the 2020s will have as much a personal, social and political impact on women as feminism had over the past 60 years or so. Cheers. Prof. Dr. Hugo de GARIS. Email profhugodegaris@yahoo.com. Website profhugodegaris.wordpress.com. Author of the book Masculism, Men's Rebellion Against Being Manslaves to Women, an e-textbook of 420 plus masculist flyers for men's studies courses. Freely downloadable in Microsoft Word format from my website. Ciao.